Who am I? I am one of the Almighty God's children. I am, in a sense, each one of you. I am a survivor, a mother, someone's daughter, someone's sister, cousin, and friend. I am, in a sense, each one of you. I am no better, and I am no less. Good morning, readers, viewers, families, and friends. I am Michelle Carter Douglas, and I thank each one of you for partaking on this journey through open doors. Today's topic is a conversational piece. Today, I just want to have a conversation with you all to go over what I'm actually doing on Facebook, what I have been doing on Facebook. Uh, who am I? What is my goal in life? I also will take a moment of silence for the tragedy at the Ohio State Fair, and also addressing some inboxes and posts or comments that people um, were asking about my work and different things like that, or what I have posted. So giving everybody a time that, uh, wants to join in, I'm just going to be talking a little bit more. Um, Let me first say, my purpose here on Facebook is the same thing my purpose is on Earth. Like a lot of people, we wonder, why am I here? Why am I here? Why have I gone through the things that I have gone through? Why am I still standing? Um, and the answer is God has a purpose for us. We have to listen to that still small voice within. And so my purpose here on Facebook is to share my story and hope that it can help someone. If I can reach one person, that helps me, because like I know that everything um, I went through um, was for a reason, you know. Um, Now, with that being said, I'm going to first take a moment of silence. Um, there was a situation in Ohio, and at the Ohio State Fair, there was a casualty. There was a ride malfunction, and at the time that I last read, there was one loss and several other people injured. And I take this to heart because, I have three children here on earth. I have a daughter in heaven. She passed away in 1998. She was 5.5 weeks old. And my kids usually go places together. Um, my oldest is 23, my daughter is 20, and my youngest is 17. So, even though there's a gap between my youngest and my oldest, they still, I have a close knit family, you know. So, you know, if my children were to ride, they would be on a ride together. That's just how close they are. And that's my very existence for going in life. And my heart goes out because, we wake up in the morning, or it could be in the middle of the day. And, there was a point in my life I thought I had this, nothing could happen to my children. And I lost my daughter. And, you know, I don't, when I hear about certain things, tragedies, I don't go, oh, thank God, it's not mine. I say, thank the Lord, you know, my children are safe. But yet my heart is going out because someone has experienced a great loss. So, that's why I take things to heart. And I just wish, I'm looking to, take my business, do my business. But, I just wish that, people will look for the safety first before anything else. And I'm not trying to point blame or anything else like that. I'm just saying, in every situation, every happening, we have to look to how this can be prevented so it doesn't happen again. So I want to bow my head and take a moment of silence. Amen. With that being said, I'm gonna bring up one thing that came to question. Now, my videos, my Spanish is not fluent. I don't speak fluent Spanish. I do have friends that are willing to uh, translate my videos. So that is a work in progress. And I'm praying on that. So that's something that I want to let my Spanish speaking viewers know. I'm working on that because my point is to be able to communicate with as many people as I can. With that being said, there was another concern where there was a deaf, DEAF. And so they asked if my videos could be transcribed because I don't know sign language. So I want you all to know that I'm going to look into getting sign language classes. Not that I'm an extreme person, but because I wasn't thinking of that. You know, I just got on here to share my story to as many people as I could, but I didn't know who all is watching. I really did not think that it was gonna go um, to the extreme that it did, and I appreciate you as well. And so, what I'm looking to do is find someone also that can maybe sign. I'm gonna do certain videos over and I'm going to personally try to look into my community who knows sign language. In the meantime, I'm dedicating some time to learn, sign language. And because, as I said, I want to be able to communicate and help as many people as I can, and so I apologize to anybody, any group of people thought that I was overlooking them. I do apologize, and I am working on that. So come Monday morning, I have some calls to make, so I'm going to devote that time to that. There was another uh, thing, in the meantime, to kind of, clear my mind. I like the different things that Facebook has, and that is those test quizzes. So I had went on and I did a test quiz that acquainted me with Mary, the mother of Jesus, who uh, the question was, what Bible character are you? So I said, okay, well, let me see, and it was, just out of fun. A lot of people do them. I like to do them, you know. So there was a comment made that I was being brainwashed and that Mary was not, African American. So before I go on to that, this is a segment to where at 9:15, that's in 3 minutes. You could call 330-881-3434 to voice your questions, concerns, any topic that you have, that we could talk about it, because the title of this is the conversational piece. We all have to be able to act as an adults because we have children, and children implement what they see, the behavior that they see. So we have to be adults and be able to come to the table of discussion without anger, frustration, animosity, cursing. We're going to have to agree to disagree. We're going to have to be adults. We're going to have to bring peace, because we look in the world today, in every single community, city, state, nationwide, overseas, other countries, is turmoil. We cannot build this country up if we're divided. And going back to that situation, and I'm not trying to call anybody out, I'm going to let you know I appreciate everyone on my page. I don't know you personally, but the time that you took out to send me a friend request, or I have sent a friend request to you, those that comment, post, like, whatever, disagree, I appreciate. Now, with that being said, I don't care what color Mary was or is. I don't care what color Jesus is. I just don't. There was a point in my life where I was bitter because I was discriminated against. And I mean wrongfully. And I'm not going to get into it, but, and I ran it, and I said some immature things on Facebook, and I apologize for that. And I lost friends behind it, but I say from experience, there's a time that you have to sit back and you have to say, if you believe in God Almighty, if you believe in Allah, Yahweh, you believe that there are no mistakes. And you believe that every single color is a color of appreciation. If that was the case, when God made man, and when he made the earth and the sky, the moon, and all of that, it would have been in black and white, yes? Okay. So with that being said, my grandmother used to tell me, she said, when you look into a flower garden, you don't want to see just one color. You want to see a variety of colors. And I appreciate that now at the age of 44. Because we as people, we're beautiful people. Light, dark, white, green, purple, yellow, beige, whatever. We are beautiful. And I'm not going to sit up and waste, time with disagreeing on someone's race. Whatever have, I took a highly compliment from that, because with Mary, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have Jesus. And Mary allowed the Lord to use her as a tool, but I did tell the individual that he inspired me to write a poem, and I did write about it because I have to certain things and stuff like that I just don't understand, and I know there's ways to handle certain concerns now, and so writing helps me understand. So, and there is someone calling in momentarily. about a topic that they had sent to me. But while I'm waiting for people to call in, the number again is 330-881-3434. That number again is 330-881-3434. And the poem, don't take it whatever, because like I said, I just, I write, and a part of writing is that you can kind of go places and do things that you normally wouldn't do, nonetheless want whatever. But it's short, it's still in work, so I'm working on it, but I haven't gotten a title for it. But the God we serve is shining today. The sun is so bright. I know, Father God, He is smiling this way. The God we serve is shining today. Brother, don't be blind. Take hold of my poetic hand. Doesn't kindness feel nice? You refer to me as a queen. Then treat me with poetic royalty. Now place your strong hands upon my waist. Line brother, let us poetically take a flight. 1977. On the playground, persecuted by both black and white. Bloody nose from an African American. 1993. In love with a black man who now is tearing my soul completely down. 2010. Told I don't belong in my very home with my children. From my hometown by 4 white people, 2 blacks, and 1 Latino. 2016. Called too big, too dark by Muslims. 2017. Betrayed and talked about by my own people in my very own race. Angry brother, in your anger, I know you don't understand that short flight. Nonetheless, all races have its good and bad. If I am from the line of Judah, that is, that I am Almighty God's child. And that is someone calling in. So let's see. Hello? Hi, fine. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was watching a video and I had a couple topics and concerns that I want to talk about that you touched base on.
Mm-hmm.
First, let me say this. I do remember when you were going through when you felt, when you went through your changes in regards to people and white people. And I remember one day you called me up and you apologized and you said, you know what, I'm really a colorblind person. I really am not like this. My bitterness has me like this, and that is so wrong. Mm-hmm. And I appreciated that because, I'm a black woman, but I have white niece that's biracial, and another one that's white, one's Hispanic. And in regards to racism, I feel like when the 40-year-olds and us die, mm-hmm. the younger generation don't see color. Our kids, they all get along. The white kids, the black kids, it's not as bad as we think it is. It is just with, to me, 40 years old and up. I just feel like there's so many mixed races now, and it's so common that the younger generation is colorblind. When you see little kids out in stores, you see them interact, and it's their parents who have the problem that, they're interacting. It is not the children. So I feel like in time, that will get better.
Amen.
I also feel like, there's so many other issues to worry about. I got a video, I forwarded to your inbox, and, it spoke about sex trafficking, how these other countries are trying to get Americans to come over there and they promise you these jobs, and then when they get there, they abuse you. It's like you're hell on earth. And there's so many things that right now we can do here on earth, I mean here in the United States today in our own communities, to help others and give people a hand up versus worrying about what someone thinks. You know, I know that you've been through a lot. You received inboxes. People will nitpick subjects and topics that you talk about. And I'm like, really? You know, like, you're trying to do something good, and you're trying to be positive, and you're trying to plant good seeds out here in the universe. And you got someone that wants to pick and talk about what abuse is, and what it's not, and unfriend you or take down your video. That just goes to show how ignorant people are. So I want to applaud you for the work you're doing. You are just like myself. You know, I love sending messages out here. And I think that you're doing a great job, and you need to keep it up. And the naysayers, hey, you know, hopefully they'll learn, and you can continue to lead by example and show them love, and maybe they'll change their heart as well. You know what I mean?
Amen. Amen. And thank you. This is my sister, my dear friend, Arlessa Ferguson, ArlessaFerguson. Is that correct? Okay. And she's on my Facebook as well. And I agree. You know, there's a lot of other you know, concerns that we have other than race. And going to the topic, I hope everybody heard that and is able to pass that on. I did see the video, very graphic, very sad, and which we
I have something I want to say too. Anyone who knows me knows that I keep it 100 and I keep it real. And I'm compelled to say that I want to say about us as Black African American people, that we always talk about we should support each other, we should do this and we should do that. I've always talked about how I go down to the Daily Bread and feed the hungry, and you know, none of our Black people are down there only if they're down there on papers, and they have to do community services. I've had people come to my shop, and you know, I hate to say this, but the white people don't question my prices on my food. But I've had people say, well, how much is your funnel cake? Oh, well, 6 inches $6, 8 inches $8. And they'll be like, damn, you charging $1 an inch. Well, that's my people. That is my sisters and brothers talking to me like that. And, you know, we're the first ones to pull the race card. And I hate it, because in my experiences in life, it has been my own race who has discriminated against me, who I've had to fight, who I had to come it up, who I got hurt by the most. And I would have Black friends that talk about, yeah, I don't deal with niggers. I'm just so sad because I was scared about what's off there, but this is what they say when it comes to business. And I think that is so sad that we're labeled that way, but most of the time it's because of our actions. And I am for my people, but now I used to be, now I'm more supportive for good people. Like, it is not my people, it is not the black race, the white race. It is anyone who got a good heart is I'm down with. Anyone who is in a good place and who is supportive and want to show me love, that's who I'm down with. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, yellow, for real. I really don't. And it's sad that it's like that, but we're our own enemies. And we need to do better for the little, that we're no longer that majority anyway. So I just feel like you know, we as black people got to get it together. And we got to quit, you know, and what's so sad about it is the things that I'm saying, we say amongst each other. You know, I can call any of my black friends and they'll tell you the same thing. So was the woman who interviewed you, I've asked my girlfriend, so how'd your interview go? You think you're going to get the job? And they'll say, no, it was a black chick who interviewed me. It was a black woman. And I'll be like, oh, hell, you can forget that. I think it's sad that you can go for an interview and if another woman feels intimidated by you and thinks that you're cute, you're not going to get the job. But if a white man or a white woman interviews you, you have more of a chance. So, like, you know, let's keep it all the way real and honest because these are the things we discuss with each other on the phone, you know, all my black friends, but they don't want to go public with it. So I'm going to go public with it and tell you that it is awful how we do each other. It is awful how phony we are. And most black people are prejudiced against black people on a hush-hush. And it's sad. So, you know, we need to just stay around positive people and love those who love us and pray for those who are naysayers and our enemies. And, you know, stop being like these people who are not supportive and who are negative and who want to get over and who won't question a white man when they got to go pay something. They won't question the white man. They won't question the woman in the mall selling strawberries for $6-7 for one strawberry. But you'll question somebody, a black woman with a business, and complain about her prices. Or, you know, that's just one of the many examples. So we all need to put the information, we all need to be real and love each other regardless and support each other. And that's really all I wanted to say this morning.
No, I really thank you for and you can hold. I said I wanted to say good morning, Chris Altmans. Good morning. Someone, Fransco, okay, I see that comment you posted. I'll talk to, but going on that topic right there, I do understand where you're coming from. I had a cleaning business, and I don't want anybody to, and that's what this segment is about, the conversational piece. To listen to someone's views. You don't have to necessarily agree 100, but we're here to discuss this as an adult. So people are entitled to their opinions. Now, I had a business and I just recently am going to start back, August 1st about that. And I will say I understand where you're coming from because a lot of the people that supported my business, paying customers, were either Caucasian or Mexican. And, when I go anywhere, I'm African American. And even though I have, multiracial ancestry, my skin is branded by and by, I say, by the African American. But with that being said, I've had, my own people haggle prices. I go in to clean the house and, I share what I charge. Sometimes they don't want to sign the agreement paper. So, when you're in your own business and you don't have that loan that was given to you or whatever, if you don't have a customer, you don't pay a bill. You can't eat, So with that being said, I would go in without the contract, and that's why I put with or without contracts. But they will haggle prices. I've had people, I turn around and clean, and they'll give me some of the price and then give me some food. Now, I'm not trying to talk about people or anything else like that. And then when you try to say, well, I can't work like that, then they want to put a negative light on your business. Oh, don't go with them. They don't know what they do, and this is. But see, we are under the Lord's umbrella, and God sees and knows all. So, with that being said, I understand what you're saying. when you have a restaurant, you know, you are putting your product out there, and it's expensive because, like I said, I've seen, you know, this is the gourmet funnel cake and gyros, EXP in Virginia, Lynchburg, Virginia. The food is awesome. Go there. You know, you're making pastries with cream cheese. Am I right? Cream cheese.
Yeah, my ingredients are expensive, and I
Mhm.
pay insurance for food poisoning. I pay insurance for my truck. I pay an electric bill. It's very expensive to run a business.
Mhm.
So if you're not really making a profit, you're wasting your time.
Mhm.
But I put a lot of time, and my ingredients are, if you look at my reviews, I have 125 reviews, and they're all 5 stars. I have a good product. And most of the time, people can't eat a small funnel cake in one day. But, you know, I can't say the vast majority of people love it, and they told me they will always be there. And I have customers that come repeatedly in 1 week. But, you know, I have been told, you know, I've had and heard comments like that, and it was by my people. You know, I don't even say my people. It was by African Americans. I'm African American, so and I just think it's sad because I know that there's gourmet shops in the mall that sells like rich strawberries, and one of them is really truly expensive. It's like $7, I think, in the Southern Park Mall. And that's one strawberry. You know, I just think that, you know, some places if we want something, we pay for it and we don't question it. But it's like when it's our own people, we want to do down the price. We want to complain and talk trash, but they don't do it with quote unquote the white men. You know, and then I have black African American people who, like a prime example, I have tried to patronize my own African American businesses, and I've gotten views. Like I have gotten, you know, they got over whether it was fixing a car or, you know, and I said, you know what? I'd rather go pay the white man the full price, get it done right, and get a warranty, and then to go through some changes. And I just feel like this is the conversation that we as black people have amongst ourselves about our people, and I'm just keeping it real and telling you. Yes, I've been one to say, no, I have to be, no, I'm going to call up the white man. I don't got time to be playing no games. I'm going to get it done right. And it's sad that it's like that, but it is. But when I have went and patronized the business, and it's a black man or a black woman, I make sure I'm there to patronize them. I don't view their price down. I respect that this is a business. They got bills to pay. And I expect the same thing in return. But I think that it's messed up that when they go to the white man to get something, they don't question the price. You know? So I don't know if it's because it's a bad stigma that black people are always trying to get over. So they feel like, okay, another black person want to negotiate with another black person and they just don't trust them, or is it that they're just not respecting the cost that it takes to run a business and this is what their cost is. This is what they value their stuff at, or their product at, you know. I just think that it's that, and I just think that you know, that people are the way they are. One other example is, I won't name the restaurant, but I expected maybe somebody white to open up and try to sell funnel cake, since I've been selling mine. There was a black restaurant who was advertising they sell funnel cake now. And I'm like, okay, but we're the first ones to say we support each other. And my girlfriend had to tell me, one of my good best friends, she told me, honey, that lady can sell anything she wants out of her restaurant. You just pray for her restaurant. But she be successful. She had to go, you know, to sell the funnel cake when she's an open, full she's a full service restaurant. She had to stop, okay, because she's not doing so good. Don't you get mad and lose your blessings. Pray for her. And I had to rethink that and do that outside of the business. Because in my mind, I'm like, niggas. Yes, first person to come against me and start a funnel cake was my own people. How messed up was that? And that's what I was saying. And it's not right, but that's how I felt. That's what I was saying. But again, what God has for you, like my son and my girlfriend told me, what God has for you, He got for you. And nobody can take that from you. And, there's more than one McDonald's, more than one person that sells burgers, McDonald's and Burger King. I can't worry about what the next person is doing. But I just know that we as African Americans is always talking about racism and always talking about they white and blah blah blah. But yet still, we the ones. I get screwed by my own people more than I do the white folks. I hate to say it, but it is the truth.
And and
white people, with also the daily dead, being the black homeless people and the white people for free, not because they're court ordered to do community services. So I just feel like we talk a whole lot of trash.
But well, and I understand. And that's something that we, as all races, brothers and sisters, we have to understand diversity within diversity. Now, there's diversity within, all races. And right now we're talking right now a part of a person's frustration where she is feeling as though she's not getting support by her own race.
I don't want to say I'm not getting support from my people. I am getting support from my people, but I didn't expect the first person to show up and want to show up. I don't care if you compete with
well,
my own people.
And this is what I have to say about that. People in general are going to do certain things, and what God has for you, He has for you. No man can close and open doors. No man. That God opens and closes. So, I myself understand, your frustration because it's hard. It's hard having a small business, and whenever you feel as though you're getting two steps ahead, there's someone trying to make you go back 4 or 5. So I understand that. Now, this is what I have to say about a few things. Now, with the subject at hand, let us, take this time for reflection. How do we treat others? Are we the type of person that wants to support, or are we the type of person that wants to tear down, be selfish, and whatever? I have to say, I went through a period, like I said, I was discriminated against really wrongly. And I too look at it at times like, wait a minute, we're the same color. We should be helping one another. But we go back, and there was a time in our lives to where we were taught to separate. And that's just how Satan works. And I have to really, even today it gets hard because like I'll see something and I'm like, you know what? We're the same color. We should be sticking together, but it's not like that. Only through life people can change themselves. They have to see a flaw, and then they have to want to remedy that flaw. We can't. So what we do as soldiers and sisters and brothers of Christ, we just continue to let our light shine, and they will see it. Because regardless, a person, open up the funnel cake or whatever, that's them. That's what they have to live with. Because if I have a business and if I have to add something that somebody else is doing to try to take their business, that's only going to work for so long, because you're going to have to keep adding, and then the stuff that you have on the menu is just going to dwindle down. And as a restaurant owner, I'm not, but I'm looking at the thing like, that's expensive to keep changing your menu. I don't know, but I'm just assuming. But what I have is that we as a people need to look at not bickering about races, what color Mary or Jesus was, or anything else like that. We need to look at the topics of hand. We need to look at, one, this human trafficking. We need to look at, two, how do we build our communities up? There was a brother on here that has Save Our Community. We need to look at that. We need to look at gang activities, Chicago. We need to look at that. We need to look at a lot of things. And then, mm-hmm.
But let me say this. You want to know what's so sad? That there's people like us and that guy who says we need to save our community. But I want to say half of us, when we don't move into a neighborhood, we don't want to live by black folks. We be like, what type of neighborhood is? We don't want to live with each other. Because like, we want people to focus on helping us, and we only want to live together. That's the first thing we look at is what the neighborhood looks like.
Well, but
and I think that's bad. That's bad.
Right, but right, but you know what? There is, to me, there's this, when we get into, the neighborhoods and all that other stuff, that's a whole other topic. It comes from with what we think, and building ourselves up and our thought process up. And with that being said, I'm going to go back to the human trafficking situation. With the human trafficking, that's a very serious thing, because I know, as a single mother, I was like, it got to be something more. I want to do something more with my life. I'm not doing really nothing here, and I was looking to relocate to different, states and whatnot. And so what Miss Ferguson was saying, she said, people are getting promised jobs from overseas and other areas, and these people are abducting them, and they are torturing these people. So I say this to anybody that is watching this segment right now. Pass it forward. Do not think about any like modeling, rapping careers, or anybody's contacting you saying, I have a job at such and such and such in another country, or even in the state or somewhere else. But then go to here. No, check it out. Use our resources, like call the FBI and see if they have any tips of certain companies. Check with the BBB, Better Business Bureau, to see if these people are registered, with the Better Business Bureau, because we as a people are under attack. And I say that as we collectively, black, white, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Mexican, persuasion, what Persian, I'm sorry, whatever, we are under attack, and we have to protect our children. And for those that feel like there's something more that you should be doing in life, look at what your talents and skills and things are. Go to the nearest job center. Here is a one stop, in Ohio. Contact that. If you like helping people, go to your nearest homeless shelters. Volunteer. You'll be surprised at how you could connect with people, interact with people, and get certain suggestions and different things like that. If you like you want to be a news anchor person. You know, you know, look into that. You know, I have no problem saying I'm in counseling. And my therapist, I was showing her one of my videos, and she said I should get in touch with somebody and see, because she said you have a knack for that. You know, so, but you know, someone sees your picture and says that you're beautiful, you're handsome, I want you to come at such and such a place, and you're going to have this big successful career, and you think, oh my God, my prayers has been answered, and then you just wake up in your worst nightmare. You know, we have to get a hold of this. We have to say, you are not taking our children. And for the other topic, about, you know, I'm going to say unity. You know, unity within you know, as a people. We as you know, African American people, you know, it takes time, you know, but we can start with one person, ourselves. And if we are the type of person that's going into a black owned business and we are haggling prices, then we need to think about that, because I can relate to that. Because, you know, when I tell people about, you know, I do flyers or resumes or this, that, and the other, you know, they say, well, you know, and I don't charge expensively. You know, I will put my prices up. But for business cards and that, you know, I was only charging, you know, $5 setup, because I cannot compete with Vista. You know, that you could get 500 business cards for $5. So I figure I just do the template. 1 second. I just do the template, and you know, they can go ahead and, you know, take that somewhere and, you know, do what they need to do with it. But I said, if I get 10 people, that's $50. You know, that's more than what I have. And
You do amazing print work.
thank
And
you.
you have done, I have seen flyers, bulletins, and everything. And people complain about the prices because it's you, and the work is better than anywhere they could go. And I'm about to tell you, stop giving your stuff away because, you know, they don't want to pay because it's you. And but you didn't have a problem with other people, other races trying to buy your stuff. And your prices were still under, but your work was over. Your work was. I have had stuff from Pit Printing and other places, and your work is beautiful.
Oh, thank
And,
you.
you know, you have to change your prices and rethink that and say, hey, I have more as everyone else, but you still get better prices than they do.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, you know what, and like I said, I'm revamping. Thank you so much for that compliment. I'm revamping my business and that. And with that being said, you know, I am just the type of person. You know, I said I'm more else about the quality and not the quantity of the dollars, but the quantity of the customers. You know, if I could do this, that, and take maybe a less of a profit, I will increase my profit, my revenue, by the quantity of the customers, you know. But that is true. You know, I've had people, you know, that will haggle, you know, the prices. I've done work for a church. And I'm just going to say this. I've done work for a black church, and, you know, and they didn't want to pay me. And I donated my services. I did 75 60-page booklets. I printed it. They took it to Kinko's. They took it. They took it. They took it to King.
You did everything. Them books, Facebook were beautiful. Do you hear me? It would have cost them hundreds of dollars. They didn't even want to pay for her ink and paper. I wouldn't do business like that. I just thought that was so, and I remember how upset and depressed you were about it. And that right there was a total turnoff for me as far as doing business with our people, because those booklets would have cost thousands of dollars. They would have. At least a little over $1,000, like $1,500 to $2,000 for what you did. And you didn't even want to say anything how you felt. And see, I'm just glad that you're speaking up for yourself nowadays, because if I could have gotten your body, I would have had to let them know.
But
this is wrong. This is wrong.
And
I just wanted them to know that it was wrong.
Well, and you know what? To me, and just to go back on this, and when I say, I have had so much help and support from African Americans. I'm gonna say that before I go any further, because I don't want anybody taking this out of context. But no, I'm just saying, like Pamela, the Encourager Reed sister, thank you. First Lady, Clark, thank you. Monica Beasley Martin, thank you. The owner of the Sister Heart Group, thank you. And Sister Alina Rios Pinson, thank you. And my brothers and stuff on here that be commenting, I thank you so much. What we're talking about is not a whole thing, but just those few. We only speak to those few. This is time to self-reflect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect in no way, shape, or form. My necklace all crooked. But I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect at all. But what I do is I reflect. And if somebody come and they tell me, Michelle, I didn't appreciate what this was said or how this was done, I'm human. I may take an offense. Well, what you mean? Like when they were talking about, they feel as though I'm overlooking a certain group of population and stuff like that. And I honestly, I was offended. I was like, well, what do you mean? I'm not trying to overlook anybody. Then I had to self-reflect. I said, when you put your material out, you need to be more inclusive. And so regardless, I'm going to take the accountability, and I'm going to try to incorporate material in my segments that will include more people. So I appreciate the feedback. What we're speaking to is that small group. If you go to a business, you have to act, okay, if I go to Staples, Office Max, or Kinko's, would I be asking the same question? When you go to Walmart, you don't bring your stuff up in the buggy, put it on the conveyor belt, and then they tell you the price is $87.63. You're not gonna be like, well, you're charging too much for that tie. You need to come down. Or that Windex, I could go over to Dollar General and get Windex for $2 cheaper. What they're gonna do, they're gonna take that item off, and they're going to suggestively say, well, then go right over to Dollar General. You have to ask, and you have to take accountability. Now, if you are that minority business that you treat certain customers differently than you do your own people, you have to ask to that. My sister went to a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant the other day, yesterday. And she was picking up her food, and the gentleman was treating, the Caucasian couple nicer than her. And there's things, we like I said, we're all imperfect. We mimic what we see. It might have been something that was done to him. He might have been treated a certain way by a certain group of people, and then just took it out on her. It happens. I would.
You want to know what's so sad? You want to know what's so sad? That nigga knew that she was the where she is and wealthy as was, and she was. He would have treated her better, because you can be if you have money. It's a proven fact that you will be respected as well, better than them assuming that you're broke as well. That's a whole other subject. But your sister's a nurse. She's successful. if he would have saw her vehicle, he would have saw me. He would have probably treated her nicer. He probably assumed that his fist wouldn't be as big or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I just think that's sad that we, that we as people in general treat each other like that. We judge a book by its cover, and it's so wrong. And that's another form of empathy.
Right, and we definitely and then that's going to be one of the topics here. This in a couple weeks, I'm going to have a conversation about discrimination, and that's something that we need to talk about as a group of people. Because going back, like in my learning process, everything that I endured in life has seasoned me, and I thank the Almighty God above, because I have been treated wrongly by a lot of group of people. It was, just in general, I'm gonna say, I had went to a pharmacy to pick up my prescription, and it was a Caucasian lady that was waiting on me. And this might sound a little funny, but it wasn't funny at that time. But I was told by the one Walgreens that I had to use my points. I had 11,000 points. I had to use them by such and such a day. I actually had 1,900 points. So anybody that goes to Walgreens know about your points. Okay. So with that being said, I had to use the 11,000. So I said, well, let me, my head hurts. My son and I, we were just in a small little car accident or whatever. So I'm going to go to Walgreens. I'm going to go to get me my leave, because I could use my points and I don't have to use no cash. So I went there, and I literally forgot the number that I signed up with, because it was, some time, and I forgot the number that I used. So the lady couldn't pull it up, and she really was acting like I was crazy, like I'm this obese black woman coming up to Walgreens through the drive-up window wanting her a lead with these points that she don't have. So, I became agitated, and then I said, let me talk to your manager, because I had talked to the man, explained the situation, so because I didn't want to come in. So I was picking up another prescription, so he was going to have it at the window. So then another Caucasian lady, I guess they must have called the manager, she looking at me like, and I said, you know what, I don't appreciate this stuff. So I said I was going to call corporate, because I know I had my points. So what happened was I found the number. It's a B. And I found the number. I used my mom's number to sign up, because I figured she could use the points too. And so they found my points. They apologized. I apologized. And it was all right. But, if I asked this question, if I was Caucasian, I was not obese, would I have been treated the same way? And there's shows that, I think it's 2020 or something, but there's shows that have been done where people treat people differently. Racism, discrimination is alive.
If you're thin, being a light-skinned woman, I've heard someone say, well, I'm not prejudiced, but I don't consider you guys. You're an exception to the rule.
Okay, what was that?
If you're heavy set, like, these are different things. Like, yes, it is a fact that if you were thinner and you were smaller, that she would have treated you different. That's the ugly truth about the United States and about us as people. If you were thinner and you fit the description she felt was approved, she would have treated you different. It's like, the different examples that I have mentioned, it could be, they put one woman in a fat suit, and she said that she got treated like crap. She was really thin under there, and people didn't know it, and they treated her so bad. She said she went home and cried. Yes, it is a fact. If you're dark skin, if you're light skin, I've had light people say, oh, well, I don't consider you guys. Oh, but I am African American. So there's just so many different prejudices. Yes, there's white people that are prejudiced as well, and will discriminate if you're fat, if you're light skin, dark skin. You know, some of them feel like if you're anything but white, you know, you're the N-word to them. Like, you know, it's just awful out here.
It is. And you know what? With that being, that's how Satan works. And what we could do individually is just come to the place to where we as a people, we talk to one another. You know, we talk to one another and we learn about different things. Now I'm going to read the scripture, Psalm, the 11th chapter, the 5th verse. The Lord tests the righteous, but his soul hates the wicked and the one who loves violence. So with that being said, because I'm going to conclude this segment, and I thank you so much, Arlessa Ferguson. Please check out her gourmet funnel cakes and gyros exp, located at 20. What's the address? Let them know.
2022 Timberlake Road, Lynchburg, Virginia. And know that, yes, I do get good support as well. So I don't want anyone to misinterpret everything that I'm saying. But, yeah, come out and have a funnel cake and we have some good conversation. And if you have any victorious stories you want to share that people can learn from, you all know I do interviews as well. And check out the past ones. Michelle was one of my interviewees, and she has totally sense, and it's a blessing. And thank you all, and have a blessing.
Thank you. And what I would like for you to do, thank you so much. Go ahead, post in the comments, post your address for your restaurant, post some of them pictures, post some of them pictures about the Oreo cookie funnel cake. So put your address down on your the restaurant location. And again, that's what we're about. To agree, to disagree, to learn, to hear someone else's, opinions and what's going on. If anybody, I'm going to conclude this segment. I think it was really, really good. And just to clear up, it's not about talking about any, negativity, putting our own people or a group of people down. Discrimination is a lie. We all know diversity within diversity. We know about racism. We know all about that. We as a people, as I said, we are going to go from ground zero and rebuild our community, our nation, community by community, person by person, starting with ourselves. And that's what we're going to get done. So with that being said, next week, I'm gonna take some time to think about what we're gonna talk about next week and post it. And matter of fact, we're gonna talk about domestic. The topic is gonna be domestic violence. I want to look into that. So I'm gonna have you guys, come on board if you want. Call in for next week, and we're gonna talk about domestic violence. See what we come together and talk about some solutions that we have for one another. And like I said, we're just going to take our time, look within ourselves, and go from there. So remember, dare to be different, be kind. Love you guys. See you next week, Saturday at 9, MCD. Bye.